Mexico has a deep and proud history and some of the greatest monsters to have ever been created. But unfortunately, it's also full of sadness and terror, and this monster represents just that. A flying witch owl who has been seen and terrorized hundreds of people throughout the centuries. La Lechuza. I'm Felix Araujo, and I'd like to talk about the big 3 M's: monsters, mysteries, and the macabre. If you're also a fan of the big 3, please join the Monster Squad and leave a like and review. Every like and review helps La Llorona find her children. Now, for today's story. It's the year 1975 in South Texas. There's 2 police officers doing their nightly shift. It was a quiet night as per usual in Robstown. Robstown is a quiet small town community where everyone likes to mind their own business and keep to their own. But tonight, that would all change. While these 2 officers were out on patrol, they were driving near a lagoon. It was about lunchtime for them, and they were arguing about where they wanted to eat, when suddenly they heard a screech in the sky. They stopped the car immediately and got out. They blasted their lights in the sky, searching for whatever made that horrible noise, but it was a super pitch black night and they couldn't see anything. They assumed that maybe it was a weird bird or an owl. They shrugged their shoulders, turned off their lights, and started walking back to the car. When suddenly, they hear the screech again, but this time, it's even louder than before. They look up to the sky frantically, trying to see what this sound is, when out of nowhere, they finally see it, and it's flying right above them. A gigantic, horrifying human-looking bird with a 12-foot wingspan, red bright eyes, and long black claws, and it's heading straight towards them. The officers reach for their guns as quick as they can, turn their lights back on, but when they look up, the creature again has disappeared. The officers look at each other scared and confused, not wanting to see if this creature will show up again. They run back to their car and speed off, thanking God that they came out with their lives. Later on that same night, just a few miles down, a couple and their 2 children are inside their home having family dinner, when they start to hear a horrible scream outside. The father, thinking it might be someone who needs help, runs outside as quickly as possible, and his family follows. When they get outside, there's nobody, just the light of the full moon. Then the little girl says to her mom, "Why is that owl just staring at me like that?" The whole family turns around to see what she's talking about, and on the tallest tree in their front yard is this huge white barn owl just staring at them. But the difference between this owl and others is that this owl had red bright eyes. The mom yells to her children to run inside the house quickly. The dad goes inside to get his shotgun. Legend says that if you cuss at a lechuza, it might go away. So the mom does just that, but nothing happens. If anything, the owl is getting closer and closer to her. When the father steps outside again, he points his shotgun and without hesitation pulls the trigger, bang. A bright flash goes off, smoke comes out, and when the smoke clears, nothing. Not only is the owl not dead, it's not even there. The dad knows he hit it. It couldn't have been but a few feet away. Both shocked and confused, they start to look around for it. They're both thinking there's no way it could have gone that far, when suddenly they see this huge shadow on the ground they're walking. Their hearts start pounding and they slowly look up, and there it is. But this time, it's in its full form La Lechuza. Screeching and laughing, the parents run as fast as they can to the house, lock the doors, close the blinds, and start to pray. And luckily for them, they never heard the screech of La Lechuza again. These are true eyewitness accounts from community members in Robstown. Dozens of people were terrified that night. It would continue for another year in different towns around South Texas, and as mysteriously as it appeared, it would disappear just as quickly. The legend of La Lechuza started in the 1820s in Mexico. She was said to be a bloodthirsty, shape-shifting owl witch who used black magic to benefit herself. At first, she was great at hiding her magic, but the more she got away with, the more careless she became, until it was nearly impossible for anyone not to notice she could do supernatural things others could not. Word got around the village, and on a warm summer night, the villagers got their pitchforks and their torches and headed to La Lechuza's house. Once they got there, they wasted no time. They broke her front door down and dragged her out of her bed. She had no time to fight back with her magic. They brought her to the middle of the town square and tied her up to a huge piece of wood. They then confronted her about her magic and told her that if she confessed to it, they would bring her to a church so a priest could cast out her demons. But if she did not, they would light her on fire. She stared at them with eyes cold enough to give them chills. She started to whisper something only herself could hear. The village demanded she speak up. She then, in her loud and screechy voice, started to curse them, saying that she would damn the whole town forever. She then started to say very intimate things about individuals that no way she could have known on her own. The villagers at this point had had enough, and they did exactly what they said they would do. They torched the wood on fire, and while she was burning, she laughed and laughed, damning them until she was eventually swallowed by the flames. Her legend has only grown from there, and terrible things have been done in fear of her. In August of 2014, a video of Mexican villagers interrogating and burning an owl alive went viral. The villagers said that the owl was really a lechuza, and its screams as it was being burned were actually the witch screaming. People condemned the incident as superstition gone wrong, leading to animal cruelty. The fear of la lechuza is very real. My grandma would talk about her and things to do to get rid of her. Even my mom's neighbor believed she was being haunted by a lechuza, and that happened recently. I'm not here to say what is real or not. I'm only here to share this amazing folklore with you guys. Now, what you choose to believe or not is up to you. So that's gonna do it, guys. If you guys have any experience with a lechuza, I would love to hear it. You can find my email on the description, and if you did like the story, please don't forget to help this channel by leaving a like and review. Let's help La Llorona find her children. Till next time.